That was the gem right there. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have reached our final installment.
Yes, Lord, because I am not giving y'all nosy people no more information after this.
Final installment. You ready for this?
Hey, let's get it.
Alright, so this is how we're going to kick this off, because when we last left you off, we were talking about how many people had showed up to the wedding, which was 2.
Right. Now, 2 being the 2 people that was in the wedding. But I honestly forgot that you were made to pick some extra people up for the wedding.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but I do have to say, like, you know, I definitely appreciate my family. Like, nobody wanted us to go to the courthouse, and everybody was really legit trying to work together to make sure that we could have a successful wedding. I love the support. And
What support?
I said my side.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I recant.
Thank you.
I recuse myself.
I mean, I love the support. Like, everything that they've done, you guys just will never know because they don't speak about it. They just wanted to make sure that they could be a part of this wedding.
We don't hear about it. The only time they decide to get on my nerves is, what time is you coming over? Now, you know we got all this big party celebration going on. Y'all know y'all supposed to be here at 6:30. I would be at there at 6:30 if you actually cook the food and have it done by 6:30. But because we black folks, we always start late.
Hey, but
Anywho, but
needless to say, I mean, the wedding, okay, so
don't lie.
I can never lie.
Tell the truth.
It got held up. I'll never forget. Now, mind you guys, I'm standing in these stiletto heels, okay? And this is my moment by myself for me to reflect on the next level of my life. And my sister comes up to me. Thank God for my matron of honor. And she's like, the best man is missing. And I'm like, what?
Now, before she goes any further, let me just state this. It's one thing if the groom goes missing.
Or the bride.
Or the bride. But the individual that's in charge of rings cannot, on any kind of circumstances, go MIA.
Well, the good part about it is they were not in charge of the rings. The ring bearer was. But
again, normally, the best man is in charge of the wedding rings.
However, I switched it up and I let the ring bearer have the ring.
That was God's doing. Now, this is why I worship the Lord as much as I do, because had that transpired, ooh.
Yeah, that would have been a problem. But, so I'm listening and I'm like, what? What do you mean the best man is missing? So, the wedding literally started almost an hour late.
Well, before you go into it, let me give a little backstory.
Not too much. The whole point.
No, we give it backstory. We got time.
Okay.
Backstory is, before I left the house.
Oh, you mean when you left our marriage license and we almost couldn't get married?
Again, I'm going to explain this to you one more time.
Because I gave you the candles.
I'm going to explain this.
But you left our marriage license.
But I need for you to understand, because I'm going to get to what you done to the pastor in a minute.
I didn't do nothing.
Whatever. Before I left the house, I came downstairs. No one was ready.
Now, you would think that I honestly told people that they should be ready the day before with hair and all this other stuff, but people thought it was a good idea to wait to the day of.
Give me a second. No one was ready. Now keep in mind, not only was they not ready, but they had no idea how to get to the venue.
But they were supposed to do a dry
I'm
run.
not doing no excuses.
I'm not giving no excuses. I'm telling you, they were supposed to do a dry run.
BS.
Or, let's not forget, we had a rehearsal, which people were required to be, and they chose not to attend the rehearsal.
Again, there's a difference between wanting to do something and not wanting to. As I had tried weeks leading up to this, I said, this is about to be some BS. I said, I don't want them there. Just, it's going to be okay.
But I did tell
really?
you. I did tell you. I said.
You told me what?
I said you might want to think about.
Think about what?
A switch in the person that was standing next to you.
I wanted a switch in the whole thing. Because you know why? I knew what was going to happen. But because you thought it was a great idea to invite these nice, wonderful people, it went just the way it did. But anywho,
I'm still laughing about the candidates in baptism.
Listen, no. Anywho, so I come downstairs. I'm like, why y'all ain't ready? Oh, we'll get there. So me and said individual get into a whole argument. I'm like, how in the F are you supposed to get to the venue and to my wedding if you don't even know how to get there? I'll find it. Now keep in mind, this individual leading up to this date has clearly stated that they were going to do everything in their power to deteriorate and not come and make sure nobody else showed up to come to my wedding. Anyway, back to that. Now we arguing. Somehow, in the midst of the argument, I forget the doggone marriage license, which she still holds over my head. But given the BS that she put me in by inviting these folks, that's what transpired.
Yeah, see, I love how you trying to make this my fault.
Okay, did I not tell you not to invite them?
Sir?
Did I not tell you not to invite them?
Okay.
Because you don't know them. And I'm telling you what happened. I knew. I had a dream about it. I felt it since, people want to hold me to promises at 5 years old in 1990.
That's still funny.
Whatever. I knew what it was.
Okay.
And I knew what was going to happen. Anywho, in the process, I'm putting stuff in the car. I get informed that I have to go pick up 2 extra people. I was livid.
I know.
I'm like, okay. Now, keep in mind, this is about to put me late. I'm late. So, God was definitely on my side this particular day.
Yeah, speed demon.
Because I don't think there was a law that I did not break. So, now keep in mind, I'm living almost on Broadway in Cleveland.
Almost an hour away from the church.
Yeah, almost an hour. So I jumped in the rental. I got my tux and everything. I'm flying up the street. I ain't even stopping at stop signs or stop lights. I go pick up my cousin and her dude. And give me a few moments before I continue, and we'll be right back. right back at you. So, I'm flying up the street. On my way to get my little cuz and her boyfriend. We get there. I told them to be outside. I got there. My baby already in front. My cousin and her boyfriend in the back seat. So, if you can imagine, I busted right on Miles. The speed limit on anybody that's staying in Cleveland knows that Miles is holy and the speed limit is 35. Yeah, I was going very much over that.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, you drive like that naturally, but...
Why are you telling the police everything? You know they could be listening to this. You just one of them that like to snitch on people.
Listen, I am not a snitch. I am just
whatever. Anyways, back to what I was saying. Yeah, I was flying. So I flew, driving, get to Lee Road, bust that left, I'm hauling it, which is, everybody know on Lee Road is 25, I'm going it. I flew past, I'm driving so fast, I didn't recognize I flew past the police. And I guess he said, you know what, at that point, ain't no use of trying to catch him because he's in a hurry, expeditionally, flying through Cleveland Heights, on my way to the venue. In the process of me flying, I was going down the hill and almost took out a traffic light because
that's still funny.
I was hard.
You was doing way too much.
I was, listen, I'm trying to get to the freaking venue because I already know that said situation made me late. And I was not happy about any of it.
Okay.
Then I get a phone call. The lady that's bringing Granny somehow got lost in front of the church. But I'm going to leave that one alone. I ain't talking about nobody. But if you're in front of the church, how do you get lost?
Hey, listen, things happen, okay?
You get lost in front of a church?
Listen.
Have you ever been lost in front of a church?
No.
Have you ever been lost in front of a business?
No.
How humanly can you get lost in front of something?
At least they was there.
Anyways. So, I got them, told them just follow me, we're going to park, we go on the side door, I run up, hit the elevator, going upstairs. I meet pastor or somebody, whoever was on the elevator. Like, I'm late, so I run in the bathroom, I'm getting dressed. I'm getting dressed. My brother, man, I love him, my sister's husband.
Yes.
Like that dude is a true definition. He'll never get the in-law title.
Oh, no.
No, as retarded as he is, and as she is, she just a special ed.
Hey.
They will never get, like, they call me, I'm coming.
Yes, Lord.
Because I love them that much. Like, they are some writers for sure.
Yes, they are.
Just to give you a little backstory, me and my sister is real close. The first time I met her, just, you'll know who I'm talking about if you know her. She didn't ask me what my name was.
No, she didn't.
The only thing she said to me is, what's your attention with my sister? I need to be in somebody's wedding before I get old and wrinkled. And I need to be an auntie. I'm like, my name is Cedric. How are you?
But she let it be known, just like I did when we first started dating, that she had clear-cut intentions.
Clear-cut intentions. I told you put her in a straitjacket a long time ago, but I'm the only one that thinks that way, and I'm starting to wonder if everybody else need to be in one too.
No, it's just you.
Whatever. Anyway, but no, and her husband, man, I love that dude to death. Like, that guy, special ed, but man, if I need him, he riding.
Always.
I'll never forget one year, man, and it still made me a little emotional. I really, money was tight because it was crazy. Had all this stuff going on, everything crazy happening, and then a lot of sickness was going around. and we want to go celebrate my birthday. Dude was like, "Hey, yo, pull up to this address. We already be inside,
Yep.
and you better be there." I'm like, I'm a grown man. I'll be there if I want to, but I ain't doing nothing, man. You do enough now. He like, listen, if you don't show up, I'm going to send my people after you. And then I thought about it.
Yeah, I tried to tell you wasn't getting out of that.
And then I remembered that a lot of people he know, I also know. And because I know they ain't exactly in the church, I said I'm going to go ahead and go ahead and show up anyway.
But you had an amazing time.
I had an amazing time. Just saying that, special ed is his game. But anyway, so I get there, I get dressed, I'm nervous. My apostle, pastor, and my brother, man, they both got me dressed. Even though my retarded brother don't remember that he helped, but I'm gonna leave that alone. But yeah, man, they got me dressed and ready. They was like, "You ain't nervous?" I'm like, "Man, no, man, because I know she the one."
Exactly.
I know she the one.
I was cool until they kept.
Yeah.
I was good until.
But I'm about to get to that. So I'm cool. I'm getting ready to walk down. And then, I had to talk with the pastor. I was looking for everything. And that's when I realized when I got to the church that I forgot the freaking envelope.
So mind you, I'm getting finished up and everything, and our apostle, our first lady,
the first lady apostle, who also like a mom. Mom's supposed to protect their children. Unfortunately, because Carr was in the bridezilla mode, she went and snitched on me.
I was not in bridezilla mode.
That's
all
what we
I
call
did was tell the lady that we were all CPR certified.
Yeah, really?
But
okay.
Regardless, I'm in there and she comes in and she says, "I have good news and I have bad news. Which one do you want first?" I'm like...
And she knew already what it was.
I said, "Don't tell me." And she was like, "Well, the good news is Cedric's here." I'm like, "Okay, yeah, that is really good news. What's the bad news?" She like, he left the marriage license." So I'm like, does that mean I can't get married?
You knew what the bad news, because you said yourself that his retarded behind left the doggone papers, didn't you?
I was like, oh my goodness. But we're grateful because the wedding still went on after being held up for almost an hour.
Which I'm about to get into. Now, keep in mind, I'm about to walk. I done came out the bathroom. I'm looking good. I got my all white and gold on. Boy, you can't tell me nothing. I'm looking like Biggie Smalls at the after. Feel good. It wasn't no East Coast, West Coast thing.
Oh, Lord.
Everybody was still partying and BS. I was clean.
You
like, I can't whistle that well, but you know what I'm talking about, man. I was looking good. So I'm coming down, man. I'm ready to go. And then I'm looking. So I'm on the phone trying to figure out where everybody at. My brother come in. He come out. He dressed. I'm like, cool.
Dressed? No. People, no. If you guys could see a picture, you would be appalled. This was a shirt 3 sizes too big. The thing was wrinkled as wrinkled could be. The pants was like some jeans. Them things was wrinkled as wrinkled could be. And then we ain't gonna even talk about the fact that everybody thought we had a nurse at our wedding. Because of the nurses, if you guys grew up in the Baptist church, you will understand what I mean. When you had the mothers on first Sunday in a nurses guild uniform, this is the kind of dress that my lovely bonus daughter was put in. And when she called me, she says, "Mom, I'm here. I look like your nurse, but I'm here." And she walks in the bathroom, and me and my sister and everybody is looking like, what do she have on?
We'll be back after these messages. effects is in full effect, man.
I just can't believe you said dressed. Like that was not a ring. You can't tell me that was not an embarrassment to you.
Again, all this was brought on by your overly vastness to have people who I warned you did not deserve to be in the building.
Well, the BM was not my choice. That was yours.
Whatever. Anywho. So, get there. So, pastor and like, you know, all right, we about to start. I'm like, yeah. They're like, where your best man at? I'm like, he ain't in there. I'm like, no. So, I'm looking in the church. I don't see dude. I'm like,
that was a mess. I'm standing on the
where
side.
the heck is this dude at? I'm looking.
He done disappeared.
He MIA.
And then the pillow that had our wedding rings on it had miraculously disappeared.
That disappeared is off. Like, the whole situation was just...
Thank God that was recovered, and after a long stint, so was the best man.
Hot mess. Yeah, because I called. I'm like, where's you at? Huh? Don't hunt me. Where are you?
Well,
we ready to get started. Well, you know, I had to tell them how to get here. Man, F all that. We get ready to get started because we've been holding up. We told you already that we had to do this because there's something going on in the next block, so we got to get done. And this is a favor to us. Like, bring your behind on. Ain't got time for this bull crap. Well, they ain't go. I don't care. Anywho, he finally showed up after 3,000 years.
Yes.
Like, man, you ain't Jesus.
And the wedding begins. Now, mind you, this is beautiful. Everything is going well.
Hold on. The wedding begins good. Everything going well. Couldn't be further for the truth. Because as soon as this wrinkled mess that I got coming with me step in the church. This is why I love my extended side. Like, that's my family. I'm looking around. You know, I'm trying to see where my folks at. I'm looking. I look to the left. Ain't nobody on the left side. I'm like, okay, well.
Now, mind you, my whole family.
Yeah. Before you get into that, I'm looking on the right side. I ain't got nobody on the right side, so I'm scratching my head like, where the F is my people at? These Negroes ain't nowhere to be found.
So, mind you, I know nothing, okay? Because as y'all know, the bride is always the last one to come in.
Oh, I'm mad as a wet hen at this point.
So, I come in. My grandmother is in full tears. She
was bawling and yelling.
She was shouting to God. And it's going. And I'm seeing people show you how well my side be networking. I'm seeing people, and I'm like, wow. And I'm looking as I get to the aisle, and I see my groom. And I'm like, yes, baby looking good, baby looking clean. But I happen to take a glance over to my right. And I'm looking at my whole little face because I can't hide nothing. So
she irate.
So my whole face.
P.O. is not the correct term of what she was.
What is this? But I'm like, you know what? I got my dad. He is walking me down the aisle. I'm feeling honored. I'm trying to keep it in because, mind you, it was a whirlwind just getting to this moment. I'm like, okay, so we get there, and oh, do I ever love our apostles. Because, you know, you would think you would get the traditional vows, right?
Hold up. Before we get there, we'll be back with another joint. as she stated,
these vows was off the chain.
Vows was
amazing. So, eventually it gets to a point, who gives this woman, da-da-da. And then it gets to, if anyone objects to this, our pastor didn't say, speak now or forever hold your peace.
We got a real one. That's an OG.
We got a remix. He said, shut up.
We don't care.
We don't care.
Nor do we want to hear it.
And basically, he said, pray for him and mind your business.
So, if you know us,
we slap a high five at the altar like, yes.
Yeah, we doing the whole thing. So
everybody busts out laughing. You got some people looking crazy. Like, where did that come from?
A few people was like, what kind of wedding is this?
But being that he did our premarital counseling,
he knew
he was privy to a lot of information. Stuff. Right.
And I love him for because he has never repeated.
Nope.
But here was the crazy part about this, man, while she's sitting over here just doing her. I knew something was going to go awry.
Awry.
Array.
Awry.
Array is the word I'm choosing to use for this specific reason. The reason why I said array. Now, we chose to do the United Candle.
The Unity Candles, baby.
I'm calling it United Candle because Unity Candle would be disrespectful. Because of what I'm about to say that transpired.
That candle was not trying to light.
So, if anybody that has ever did a Unity candle, you know that you take two separate candles, the bride and the groom, pick it up, and they light the big candle. Right?
The marriage candle, yeah.
That's what's supposed to happen. Traditionally, that's what happens. However, true to the form of just like wasn't nobody there for me, it took anywhere between 5 to 15 minutes.
It didn't take that long.
It was long enough.
It was long enough, but
it was long enough to the point everybody was like, y'all need help lighting the candles. The candle wouldn't light. I don't care what we did.
It eventually did, though.
Listen, we tried the little flicker thing, it wouldn't do it.
No, we only had the candles to light it.
Yeah, but we also tried the flicker thing, and I think that's what finally happened would wind up it lighting. Anyways, so right before, as he reading the vows, which took us all the way back, like if you grew up in church, and I'm just talking about real church, like Sunday school, Sunday vacation, vacation Bible school, you in church all the time, then you know certain scriptures in the Bible.
Right. But we didn't know that one.
However, because some time has passed, and we said that we wanted a Christian marriage.
Yes, we did.
I don't know how, but we done read the Bible from front to back a couple of times. We missed the Ruth chapter.
Yeah, we did.
So as he reading the Ruth vows
and telling us to repeat after him and sing,
and telling us to repeat and sing after him,
we looking at each other.
I'm looking at her. She looking at me,
and we both kind of leaning over the podium.
I'm trying not to look too conspicuous. But I'm trying to figure out where the are you reading from? Like, that ain't in there, man. It's supposed to be to have and to hold and stuff. And he reading this. So we looking, and I'm looking over like, okay.
But needless to say, eventually, the rest of the people started trickling in.
What rest of people? It was only 2. Everybody else showed up after we got in the hallway. Because, let's just put it this way. Half of them went to the wrong church and was candidates for baptism. The other some of them couldn't find the building. Couple of them got lost on the first floor. I'm still trying to figure that part out. So, at some point, the two people that were supposed to be there all the time finally showed up.
Well, 3, because TT was with him.
Yeah. But again, they finally showed up.
Towards the end, but yes.
Yeah. So, at the end,
we taking pictures.
And, you know, they upload.
Well, wait a minute. We gotta add this in.
And what?
So we taking the pictures before we go to where we had designated for our reception.
Hold on. Please let me do this.
Oh, no. We got to do this one.
Nah. So, we taking the pictures before, because we had chose to go to the Olive Garden in Parma.
Yes.
Now, that's where it was supposed to happen. However,
I'm still trying to figure out
however, I don't know the logistics of this, because this is, you know...
It still baffles me 3 years later.
This is our one and only marriage, but I've got pretty good common sense to know that if you're going to do a wedding reception,
you kind of need the bride and the groom.
You're gonna need the bride and the groom. But here is where this story goes
left
to hell. The best man had to pick up the cake.
Right, but this was supposed to be a surprise reception.
Oh, okay, again, even if it was a surprise reception, if you knew that the best man was picking up the cake, why wouldn't you tell him
to drop it off?
To drop it off
at the other venue.
At the other venue.
Right.
But you made him spend all that gas to drive from Macedonia
to Parma
to drop a cake off when it could have been at the venue that it was. Again, I don't know how you have a reception without telling the bride and groom, but SF.
Needless to say, we had to stop back by the house because, again, he left the marriage license.
However, when we said that we wanted everybody to come to Olive Garden for the wedding reception, they said they ain't coming.
Oh, yeah, because we tend to find out later on, because we going to kind of move this story a little bit. But we come to find out that they were mad because we did not hold our wedding up.
Who in their right mind gonna hold up a wedding?
And wait for them to get there, and how we owe them a second wedding.
I don't owe sugar, honey, iced tea.
Oh, I'm in total agreement. But this... So that compared to how everything first started, if you guys can see, this caused a lot of issues. I mean, we were on some kind of honeymoon. Because I'm sorry. No. Some kind of honeymoon. And our phones was dinging and dinging and dinging. Well, where were they? Where were they? Why wasn't they in this picture?
But before I get to that, this is how you know that the wedding, the ceremony was great. But this is how you know how truly effed up the family did the groom. When you got gangsters and thugs inboxing you saying, where was your people at? And these are folks that you talk to when you have to talk to. And you don't have an explanation from them. That's jacked up.
I mean, but ultimately what I love, and that's why I said that I would redo my wedding. Not because it was anything wrong with the ceremony. It was just the added drama that came with it because, as we told you guys, that wasn't our plan. Everybody came together and said, this is what we want for you guys. Now we have one side that just did, gave,
and you don't hear crap
and you
about
don't hear jack. They was just happy to be a part, to be invited, to cook for us. And
they love me more than they do you.
I mean, just everything. Well, it's 3 years later, people.
And I'm still hearing.
We're still hearing about how all this money was spent. They still want another wedding. And we're like, no. Now, we did say, due to the fact that it did not necessarily go the way we intended for it to go, we said that we were going to do a vow renewal, but all the extra stuff is completely off the table. Now, what I can say is this. As we're going into year 1 of this marriage, there was...
Oh, that was turmoil.
I mean, it was a lot. And it was a lot because it stemmed from the wedding and us not holding it up.
Oh, there was beef. Like, it was times that we weren't even talking to them. She started getting accused of a whole lot of nonsense. It was, ever since you married her, she done changed you.
But not knowing that...
She keeping a leash on you. She don't let you talk to your family. You spend more time with her side, and it looks like we just all these bad people. First thing first, since nobody seems to understand and have been paying attention, I am going to announce this for the very last time, and I'm not going to say nothing else about this no more.
Okay.
Number 1. There has been problems brewing between me and the family since I've been old enough to walk and talk and think for my own.
Exactly.
Number 2, there has been issues with me and the family since I've been able to walk, talk, and think for my own. Number 3, and this is the most important, I have stated not once, not twice, not even 3 times that I do not want to be around said people because not only do I feel uncomfortable with the spirit that they have, but they are toxic to my environment.
Now,
give me a second, boo-boo. I do not like chaos.
And or confusion.
I do not like confusion. I like peace of mind, and I like quietness.
But it took a minute to get you there because we spent...
And it took me a minute to get me there. I've been there. It was just, I was being pulled into, which was very uncomfortable,
yes.
Which I am man enough to say, nobody should have ever been we shouldn't have been put in that position.
I totally agree.
Because I want you to talk about that. The whole freaking tug of war it was between you versus them, with me being the monkey in the middle.
I mean, I would say, I wouldn't necessarily call it a tug of war.
Come on now.
I mean, I'm being real. I wouldn't call it a tug of war.
Well, what you call it?
What I would say is when someone is used to something, and they're comfortable in that. People have a tendency to have a falsified expectation. And that's what it was. You were already doing it. And they figured I would just be an added bonus to help continue the shenanigans.
But you wasn't accepted.
Right. But I was supposed...
So how the hell can you help?
Well, apparently that's what I was supposed to do. Because my phone stayed ringing when it was chaos between you and the family. And it's always been, help me. Listen, I'm not getting involved in stuff that don't have nothing to do with me. All I want to do is continue to love my husband, my peace of mind, and enjoy being married. But as I stated yesterday, and I must admit, before we go into a short break, I'm very proud of you because I know it was difficult, but you have grown immensely and you have truly become the man that I always knew that you would be. And I am looking forward to where God takes us because these struggles did nothing but strengthen us.
All right, we're going to take a break, finish this song out. We back with Boot Up by Cassius J. Chris Moten. You know what it is, man. We back with After Effects. So I got to ask this because it's been on my mind and my heart for a minute. Talk to the people about my mental psyche that I was going through at the time.
I mean,
with
it
the
was
whole back and forth.
I mean, it was the loyalty card, and I'm a firm believer that loyalty will have you in places that God ain't called you to. You felt your loyalty because you had been so used for 34 years to that loyalty, and when you branched off, you really didn't know how. And it was me trying to figure out how I could bring you comfort and how I can bring you peace and how we could honestly start our life, because you could not for the longest disconnect yourself from the old life in order to embrace your new one. And that is why we went through so much, because you thought that you had double loyalty, and it had the consistency be explained to you that the word says you are to leave and cleave to your wife. And that's what it was supposed to be. But unfortunately, it took some heartbreak. It took some tears. It took some for real determination. More importantly than anything, it really took prayer for you to understand that my love for you will never waver, because anybody else would have folded up under that.
Talk about the moment that you lost trust in me.
Whew. I lost trust when I was not a priority. I was an option. When everything, work, extended family, became more important than my peace of mind. And I was already dealing with enough because I'm still new to a already new life as a caregiver. And now I'm new to the life of being a wife. And instead of the situation bringing me peace, it wreaked havoc in our home. And I said, wow, I'm like, God, if I can't trust you to protect me, what am I doing? And I would come to you and tell you my feelings and tell you my thoughts. And a lot of times it was, well, this is your fault, or this is just the way it has to be. And I'm like, so you're basically asking me just to suck this up. And I said, wow. It took me a minute. And I thank God for our assistant pastor who I know her phone was off the hook every day. Every day. Because as another, from one wife to another, you know, she really guided me and helped me through times that you didn't even know I was crying. Times you didn't even know I was hurt. And all I wanted for you was peace. But I had to be taught that you had to want that for yourself. And I'm grateful, but in the same token, I can't say that it took until your situation with COVID last year for you to really understand my love for you.
Yeah, because I, like, literally, when we had that conversation, and when you told me, it was like, I lost trust in you. My heart fell through, and I was like, you know what? F it. I don't want to go home no more. I'm going to do what I'm great at and can't nobody beat me at. I'm going to work all these hours.
Mm-hmm.
And I did. I was working sometimes up to 21 hours a day.
Yes, and even in that process,
and I still send my money home. And see, that's what a lot of people don't get. You know, folks want to go out, oh, he cheating. Nah, I don't want nobody else but this girl.
Love you more, baby.
If you weren't trying to holler at me before then, F off.
Exactly.
Because, you know, the world's, y'all have y'all view about how people of certain weight statues is supposed to be. You know, if you rich, then we can accept you. But if you're a big dude and you ain't even a drug dealer or making it popping, you know, we don't really want what you like that.
Right.
So I'm like, I'm going to do what I do, man. You know, I was trained by DODD. Mm-hmm. So, you know, I can deal with special needs. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, they were paying me real good. 21 hours a day, you know, like a little $2,000 every couple of weeks.
Yeah.
She got all the money. I sent it to her. And if I didn't send it to her, she had my credit card.
Yeah, I mean,
I took $200 to the point she started making me take it because I wouldn't take none.
But it was more so, it's like I was begging and earning and crying out for his attention, not the money. And I felt lonely. Now here I am in college, and yes, I'm a caregiver, but this is the person that I attached my life to in God. And that's who I wanted to see. Yes, we have to work to survive, but I wanted his time and I was not getting that. And when I would express that, then it was, well, statistics say people who complain like this gotta be cheating. And I'm like, dude, first of all, I don't do community nothing. But it honestly took him getting sick for him to understand my heart. Like, when he asked me what was my emotions and my feelings when he was sick, I was honestly hurt. You know, because here is this man who I know to be strong and feisty and a go-getter, who's crying out in pain and not feeling good, and it's very minimum of anything that I can do as his wife. But I tried to do everything that I could. Yeah. I mean, I was up all night with him. I was making sure personal care was taken care of.
Yeah, because the doctors at one point was like, we don't think he gonna make it.
I mean, this was even before you went into the hospital. I was doing personal care. I was up half the night,
in and out the shower, into the bathroom,
and doing everything and making sure he ate and making sure he was breathing okay. And when he called my name that morning and said, "Babe, I'm struggling to breathe," I'm like, my heart just, I'm like, but I don't want him to go to the hospital because I can take care of him. I can do this. I've been doing it. I mean, it's hard on me. No, I'm not getting no sleep. No, I'm not getting no rest. Yes, I'm in school. I had just started a term, but I'm figuring it out. I'm managing it. But when I saw the look in his eyes, and mind you, I had just went to have my second COVID test, and I had just tested positive. Excuse me. And I'm like, oh, okay, now I'm sick and I have an elder in my house that I don't want to get this. And he's telling me he can't breathe. I'm like, you know what? No, I'm getting you out of here. And I called 911. His saturations was low. They're taking him in. He's in the ER and they tell me he has to be admitted.
First time in my life. But I tell you one thing though, man. That day, I'll never forget that week. You showed me, man, what real love was. Because I didn't get a lot of it. That's why I work as hard as I do and trying to get everything off the ground. This podcast and finishing school in a few months. Because you can get anything you want from me, man. You've been down. You took care of me when I couldn't take care of myself.
Listen, that's what
you
being
pray.
a wife
You
is.
prayed for me when I couldn't pray for myself.
I was there from start to finish, sick and all myself.
But we're gonna leave it at this note. We're gonna end off with this, and this is the final chapter to them wedding vows, and we're gonna end it like this: do it right, or don't do it at all.
Period.
Super Gremlin, baby.
When we could be superstars, we've been rather wrecking cars.
Hey bro, is that Jambo?
What does that say for us? Kicking up cameras. Yeah, we could be superstars, but I'm pretty sure our time is up. And so we fell off the spinning tops.
Say you my nigga, I'ma be your killer. Nobody gonna play with you when I'm with you. Go against any nigga like fuck this glitter. Skeet all dirt on bitches. I put it in for you, I spin for you. Whatever you with, I'm with it. How you gon' cost a nigga out rockin' with you? I got you lit in the city. I been multitasking, rapping and being a daddy to my little children. I been spinning on business and spinning and spinning and spinning until I'm dizzy. I do water smack, you never step or help with none of you killing. You doing a lot of capping, watch when I catch, I'ma whack you in front of the witness. Damn, I knew you were tripping. We could've been superstars.
After Effects. We appreciate you. We got more coming. Stay tuned.
You switch like a pussy little bit. Damn, I knew you tripping. We could have been superstars. Can't help it now, I'm reminiscing. Remember we were jacking cars. Now you better keep your distance, cause it's not safe for you. You switch like a pussy little bit. Track hard with the kid, snatch off from the bitch. When I slide, nightlight on the blick. Bet I'm on my shit when I'm outside. So them ran down, caught them pants down. Nigga, you shit. I knew the perk was fake, but I still ate it, cause I'm a grinner. Yeah, cut those business, KTV, back door wide open. Waste my snipe, get out. All you niggas gon' die. Time rolling, bustin' on my opponent, no half stepping. Crush my arms totally, wood jet broke, no motion. Sleeping on sofas, creeping in highs like roaches. I done went cages and stages of cage. Now free me, baby, can't keep me, baby. I beat them cases, they already hate me. They gon' want me dead when I'm on probation. Oh, y'all think Lil Yak retarded? Y'all ain't seen nothing yet, I promise. Niggas can't take me, niggas can't guard me. I be on the fuck nigga ass like Charmin, aka 28 Carvin. We could've been superstars. Remember when we were checking cars? Now it's not safe for you. You switch like a pussy little bitch. Damn, I knew you tripping. We could've been superstars.